So we're joined now by Mojet Adediji, an author from Weyburn, and first thing is finding out that you're already a published author, but you're still in high school. How does that come about that you have a novel?
I started the novel actually quite a long time ago when I was in elementary school. In grade six, we had a project for writing a short story. It was supposed to be 500 words long, but I kind of got carried away since I had a lot of stories in my head that I wanted to talk about. So in the end, I kind of ended up throughout the entire summer and for the rest of that school year, I ended up kind of adding to my story almost every day. Then a couple years later, like last summer, we decided, okay, let's make this into a book. Let's publish this. Let's get it out there because I had gone through it already and I have refined it and tried to make it a bit more mature for people who are around my age. And that's pretty much how I came about having a novel. It took a while to get it published, but I guess here we are now. I started a while ago, yeah, definitely, but the entire process, even though it took a while, I'm definitely proud of where we are now.
Well, what can you tell us about the novel? First, Spitfire is the title of it, but there's a little bit more of like a subtitle for it as well.
Yes, The Rise of Teen Combatant. Pretty much the story, it takes place, it surrounds two people. They're twins, a guy and a girl. And in this story, the main female character, she goes around and she's pretty much part of this spy organization. There's a war going on in this book. And in this war, they have spies that go into the other country or the other empire. And they try to infiltrate this place. And of course, they're all teenagers because teenagers, the way I portrayed the teenagers in this book is that it's a lot easier for them to blend in with other people than it is for much younger kids or older people. That's pretty much how I came about with the rise of teen combatant instead of just combatant, combatancy, and that kind of thing. In my opinion, I think that combatancy, it's also kind of a mirror image of what a lot of people go through today. There are a lot of teens who are maybe not even in the Western world, but in like third world countries who go through a lot of fighting. So I also kind of wanted to add a few of those tragedies and dramas in my book as well. That's how I came about the subtitle of my book.
Now, as you mentioned, you started it in grade six, then kind of added on to it. So the idea of it started back then, those years ago, or was this kind of it developed into the plot as you went along?
It didn't start that long ago. The actual book that I had in my head back then is much different than the book we have right now. The book back then, I got it off a show. I'm not really sure which show I got it off of right now, but I know it's one of my favorite shows back then. And I kind of copied the characters and I wanted the characters to be just like them. But as I got older and I read more about the news and the world and how everything was going on today, I decided, okay, maybe I can make these characters a reflection of the people I see today or the people who I want to see in the future. That's how I got my characters and how I got that book.
Now, the process of getting it published, that I know that's not easy. A lot of people, always wonder, how do you get that done? What was your process to get it published?
My parents were a really big influence in getting this book published. They were probably the biggest pushers for it to be published because I wasn't really sure about getting this out into the world. For me, it was just something that I wanted to keep to myself. The first thing we did was we got some of our friends to kind of look over it. They edited it, they refined it, they kind of made it into the book it is today. And then we got a publisher. So he's the one who helped us publish a lot of it. Then we got it onto Amazon, the Amazon Kindle. We went through the entire information process through that. It took a couple days, a couple weeks, but eventually we got it published.
And what's the reaction been like from even your friends, knowing that they now know a published author?
A lot of surprise and amusement, sometimes shock. I guess my closest friends, a lot of them weren't too surprised. They kind of expected this, seeing how much, because they read the original where it started in grade six. So they weren't too surprised that it came to this stage, but definitely a lot of amusement and surprise from the people I know now today.
And the reaction from even your teachers. I suppose English teachers kind of look at you as one of their favorites?
Yes, the teacher that I have for ELA today, he's really supportive of my book, and I truly appreciate that.
Now, as you mentioned, the book itself, it's published on Amazon. Where else can people get the book right now?
They can also get it in person. We do plan on having a book signing in the library coming sometime in March, so they can get it there, as well as other libraries from the public library here, and we're planning on trying to put it on more sites online. I also have a website, Mojet Adediji. You can go there and you can order from there as well.
Now, what's next for you? Like, do you have any other books that you're looking at starting to work on, or are you going to kind of take a break during school?
For me, my school year, it's kind of dull. So what I like to do is I write a lot. The Spitfire, it's actually part of a trilogy. So that means two more books are coming after this. And apart from that, being a Nigerian, I also have a lot of cultural things that I want to write down as well. So I plan on releasing a book that is going to center around my culture as well as what Nigeria is like today. So there's definitely more books coming out. This is just the beginning, not the end.
All right. Well, thank you very much for taking some time to join us here today and to talk about your book.
Thank you.